I'm back. I just wanted to kind of dig down a little bit to what Jim was hinting at. A couple of things. First of all, I don't know that wind in Florida. So just to get tactical real quick on the segment that you focus on solar and wind mainly in your slides. And that's probably, a nit. But nonetheless, the first thing to do is to figure out what we're going to be doing in Florida. And, of course, building and solar and whatnot, might be a little more, tactical for us to focus on. But that's, without having really researched the problem. But then the other thing, too, kind of articulating a little further what Jim was saying, the jobs won't necessarily be there unless the incentives are put in place to create the jobs. So I do agree that this is a lower priority, not because I don't think we need to have this trained workforce, but because you don't want to spend dollars training folks if the incentives aren't in place to create the solar installations, because those, you can look at all the, the regions in the world where solar has been adopted. I would look actually at Germany, because Germany started out with, very significant incentive programs and subsidies to encourage people to do those installations, which of course created jobs, which required the training. But they are just now weaning off that. So the market did actually begin to bear itself out, but it took years. And so without those incentives, these jobs won't be created. So I think we need to put the cart before the horse.
Okay, good, thank you.
Another version of that having been involved with some workforce development issues specifically surrounding STEM and a couple other industry initiatives more on the nuclear side, there's two different approaches to the marketplace training. One is a push, one is a pull. And when we begin to try and push people into this training when the market isn't ready to accept it, we're really pushing people into an area where there is going to be the adequate jobs to support that training. When we allow the market to develop and have a process where they can pull, meaning we have implemented measures that will incent an institution or private or the public for-profit colleges to open their doors for this type of program. They're ready to do that when the market is ready to pull those people into the industry. So kind of a different mentality or different approach there, but we've seen a lot more success in that pull type of approach. So when the market's ready, the training can open up and people can go in that direction.
Good, thank you. We've certainly had some difference of opinions on that, and that's what we certainly like to see. So we'll move now to idea number 5.
Okay, 5th idea. Hiring or designating a Cleantech program manager. Okay, in 2007, Mayor Jerry Sanders from the city of San Diego hired as the Cleantech program manager Jack Shirazi, whom we are glad to welcome here today. Among his responsibilities were forming and promoting collaboration within government agencies and the Cleantech sector, as well as advising the mayor in the development of the San Diego Clean Technology Advisory Council. The local government could hire a Cleantech program manager with the overall responsibility to promote the development of a Cleantech cluster in Orlando. The Cleantech program manager could also help establish the following: a Cleantech advisory council made from government, business, academia, and nonprofit organizations, and its mission would be to develop a clear Cleantech strategy, attract businesses in Metro Orlando, and create jobs. Sorry. It could also help establish a clean team for high-value Cleantech companies, similar to the current Miracle team that we have in Orange County for high-value projects. So the Clean Team's mission would be to seek and support Cleantech businesses in Metro Orlando. We could bring together services of the UCF Technology Incubator, the Venture Lab, the Advisory Board Council Program, and other programs for a year or two of considered effort to assist such companies, for example, with startup space, market research, and customer networking, etc. Other cities have been taking similar initiatives. For instance, in the city of Austin, Texas, with city funding, the Chamber of Commerce even hired a full-time Director of Economic Development, Laura Valentine, with the specific task to seek and support clean energy companies. This initiative paid off since Austin was named last year the #1 Cleantech city in 2007. In 2005, San Francisco's Mayor Gavin Newsom established a 16-member council whose mission was to promote and create the city's clean tech agenda, bring clean tech businesses to San Francisco, and create job opportunities in high-skilled industries. And they have seen great results. So what do you think? Can such an initiative help promote clean tech, growth here in Metro Orlando, and create jobs and wealth?
So as you hear our idea number 5, and of course I believe we've got representation from a number of the organizations and groups that were mentioned. Of course we have government, business, our members of academia, and some specifically mentioned the UCF Technology Incubator, the Venture Lab, the Advisory Board Council Program, and others. So for those of you who were named, what do you feel of this initiative of creating this clean tech program manager that would help to initiate some of the goals and objectives? So we'd love to hear your thoughts. If you would please, again, step over to the microphone, announce your name and your company, and share with us your thoughts and ideas.
Kerry Pierce, Lake County Economic Growth and Redevelopment. I think the program manager would be a nice position to have, but as Jacques had told in his presentation, the one thing that program manager would need would be the tools to complete the task. Without incentives, without a coordinated effort, if you're doing this Metro Orlando, you now have to go through Metro EDC from their vehicle. It would be something that would probably be implemented through their organization, where you've got buy-ins from all the different counties, financial buy-in, incentive buy-ins to do that. You've got Enterprise Florida, which is already existing, the Florida Tech High-Tech Corridor. All these different entities, you would have to have a definitely coordinated effort just to create the program and to create the incentives for that individual to accomplish that task. So without there being any of those things available from an initiative standpoint, the tools to go out there and recruit these businesses, to foster those businesses, to allow them to grow, especially doing a cluster type of situation, that when you're doing your cluster analysis on where these businesses are currently located, where they're going to be located, where your verticals and horizontals that currently exist are going to exist, it's a huge task to get that kind of orchestrated from a Metro Orlando perspective. That makes it even that much more challenging. It'd be easier to do it on a local City of Orlando type of aspect, but then you're going to sacrifice the type of technologies you can have because of the limited resources that are available within a metro, or excuse me, within a city as opposed to a metro format. So.
Leverage all of the geographic areas to create.
Oh, absolutely. Use the assets that you have available. You would have to. There would be companies, biotech type of companies doing biodiesel fuels who would not want to be located right in downtown Orlando. They have no advantage being in downtown Orlando. They would much rather go to a low-cost area where they can have higher land use, where they can have a larger land to use that. When you get to the reverse, if you're looking at clean tech, where it's really from when you're looking at plastics and you're looking at polymers, you look at Blue Earth, the company Blue Earth Solutions, taking styrofoam, processing it into small little plastic pieces. That whole process they're doing is completely non-toxic. It's earth friendly in the name, but they're going to be in the most remote. They don't need high cost. They don't need anything fancy. They just need a brick, and they just need the brick. That's all they need in the space. So that's where you would want to leverage what you have available outside the Metro Orlando. But again, if there's not incentives from a Metro Orlando standpoint, then the entity couldn't work.
Okay, thank you.
Dave Bruderly, consultant, Gainesville. Speaking to the question, do you need a program manager? The answer is absolutely yes. I will quote T. Boone Pickens and Mike Jackson, who appeared yesterday down at Nova Southeast University in Davie. And T. Boone, who is a rather successful businessman, basically said that a fool with a good plan in business can defeat a genius with no plan. We have a lot of geniuses in the state of Florida trying to come up with a lot of really creative, good ideas to solve this problem, but we do not have a comprehensive statewide energy plan. So if you don't have a statewide plan or a national plan, then you got to think globally and act locally. And if Orlando wants to prosper in a carbon-constrained economy and a carbon-constrained world, which is what the governor is telling us he wants to see us do, then we have to act locally until the rest of the state, the rest of the nation, the rest of the planet catches up to us. So yes, we need a program manager to develop the plan.
All right. Any debate on that?